What's going on, fam? It's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, Lecky Murray here with 44 Radio, and I want to talk to you about something that's a growing trend in Atlanta, and it may be another pandemic in the country soon as police relationships between the communities are dwindling. In Atlanta, police officers are calling out sick in record numbers, and it's been a continual pattern for the last few days. And I want to talk about this man. But before I do, please go hit that subscribe button. Let your boy know every time I drop a video. You guys have been doing awesome with that. Continue to hit that subscribe button. Also the notification bell, because that will let you know exactly when I drop a video. And usually I've been dropping a video every single day. Now, I'm going to play a news clip real quick of in Atlanta. I think it's Atlanta Live. And they talk about how the police officers are calling in protest from the police officer who is charged with murder for killing Rayshard Brooks. And it's having a major impact on how the citizens feel safe in the city. So I want to play the news clip real quick, and I'm going to come back with this man.
But first, dozens of Atlanta police officers calling out for a third straight day now.
The sickout, or the so-called blue flu, beginning right after the Fulton County DA said he was charging 2 officers in Rayshard Brooks' death. Many of you have contacted us, urging us to find out how this sickout could be affecting 911 response times and overall safety in the city. Tonight, we are finally getting some answers from officers themselves, Cheryl.
Tracy Amick Pier is live on the 17th Street Bridge with more. Tracy?
Well, Atlanta police officers tell us today that in Zone 5, 25 officers called in sick. Now, that's everyone except for the 3 supervisors. They also said that homicide detectives were responding to 911 calls. Now, in Atlanta, there are 6 zones. So usually if there's a shortage in one zone, other zones will send in officers to cover the shift. But then if those other zones have shortages, well, that could be a serious problem.
I've never seen the morale so bad that it pushes the majority of an agency to do this. For enforcing the
Vince Champion is the regional director of the International Brotherhood of Police Officers. And while he didn't know so many officers would call in sick since Wednesday, he's not surprised that it happened.
And they want to do their job. They just don't want to do it in the city of Atlanta, where they're not respected and where they'll be, betrayed.
The sickouts.
So I wanted, it's a 4-minute clip. I don't want to play the whole thing because I want to kind of give you a gist of what's going on. So basically, in protest of the charges from the 2 officers, they are calling in sick, and a lot of officers is a report that they are filling out applications to surrounding counties because they don't feel respected in the city of Atlanta. Now, mind you, the city of Atlanta is huge. Okay, I stay in little old Fountain, South Carolina, which is a suburb of Greenville, South Carolina. So our city is I think, 5,000 people? It may grow because of the census this year, but we may be about 5,000 to 8,000 people, give and take. Atlanta, I think, has a few. It's a lot more people than 8,000 people, to say the least. So I want to play a interview of CNN a few nights ago of Mayor Keisha Lance. She is the mayor of Atlanta right now, and she had a few words to say about what exactly she addresses the blue flu issue, but she also gives just security, not security. She confirms, and she just kind of gives a spin on what's going on. I want y'all to look at it, and we're gonna come back to just tell you what I think.
Do you have your hands around how many officers are involved in this not calling in or calling out sick, this apparent revolt in response to these charges? The department put out that tweet I read earlier for the audience saying that they think they have enough resources. But how many officers are we talking about? Do you know?
Well, we don't have a count yet because we were in the midst of a shift change. But what I do know is that we do have enough officers to cover us through the night. And our streets won't be any less safe because of the number of officers who've called out. But it's just my hope, again, that our officers will remember the commitment that they made when they held up their hand and they were sworn in as police officers.
Right, but
so And he kind of goes in and press her about, how many officers are there. And, Mayor Lance is not going to give the exact number because she don't want the city citizens to be in a panic. Yes, it's protesters about Rayshard Brooks being murdered. And it's a fraction of individuals in the city of Atlanta that is actually, protesting, but it's a whole nother specter that when they call 911, they expect police officers to get there, and they don't expect wait times to be crazy because it's so much stuff going on and officers are spread thin, and we don't know if other agencies have the police manpower to lend Atlanta some police officers to cover shifts, especially the night shift, which is probably the worst shifts to call out on. And the one thing that I'm thinking that I don't want to be too critical, and for one, the city's ran by a black woman, right? The police chief is black. So it's a whole nother narrative that said that, hey, this is what happens when black people run major cities. I don't necessarily want to go down that Reddit because I don't necessarily know Mayor Lance and her political views or even her policies because I don't stay in Atlanta. But this is a huge problem that needs to be fixed because, look here, we need our police officers. And the one thing that's been going on, like, hey, defund the police, abolish the police. That is probably one of the most craziest things ever. We need more police training. We need communities to know who's policing them. Okay, we need more town hall meetings. We need more interaction. We need to teach the youth that, okay, yes, there are bad police officers. There's a bad people in any just form or just job, just any sector. Pick one. There's somebody that's bad. But we need more people to want to be police officers to curb that change that we need to see in the police forcing in America. And if police is all over America decide to call in sick, or they just decide to quit because of they don't get paid a whole lot of money, right? And I'm not sitting here defending police officers who do not follow the law, okay? So do not get that twisted. But I am saying, look here, when you call now, you never know if you're going to need the police until you need the police. And if it takes them 2 hours to get there because they have 4 or 5 different calls in front of you, then do you know how long 2 hours, 30 minutes or whatever, when you're in need, let's say somebody breaking into your house, let's say you held at gunpoint, and it takes the police 30 to 45 minutes to get there. So I believe that the city of Atlanta has to set a precedent because America's watching, okay? Other police departments are watching. And police do not want to work in Atlanta. And I think it's unfortunate, but hopefully in the next few days this calms down, the police goes back to work, and Atlanta could kind of put the fire out. But what's happening now in our country is a knee-jerk reaction. If something happens, that somebody wants to burn out the flame even before it gets lit. Even before it gets lit. It's like, oh, this going down, oh, boom. Look how many people have celebrated Juneteenth. Juneteenth was not that big of a celebration, but all these different companies are now giving their employees money, vacation time, to celebrate Juneteenth. Why? Because everybody's a knee-jerk reaction. That should have been done that, okay? But I don't know, my nose itching, guys. But I want to hear what you got to think about this blue flu outrage that's happening in Atlanta, and you may see it all over the country. You know, Atlanta is a really big metropolitan, so I need you to listen and write in the comment section below. Go ahead, talk to me. Let me know exactly what you think about this blue flu pandemic that may happen. You know, you may be like, well, you know, they need to quit anyway, blah, blah, blah. Hey, write that down in the comment section below. And also, check out 44 Radio, the Lucky Murder Show. It is going live. Man, it's going to be some crazy stuff happening. And chhnow.com, the laser grades of Christian hip-hop news, entertainment. But it's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, and please don't forget all three. Lucky Murray back with another just update, current event update. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. But until next time, people.